Hey, in this video, we are going to build a correlation trading bot or a trading algorithm. You can see here, I have a bot running 24/7, 365. This is what I do full time, and I'm here to turn you into the best algorithmic trader you can possibly be. Because when I first got started algo trading, it was super hard to learn because nobody wants to share this information. There's literally no algo trade. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, I have to keep all this so close to my chest because I have a secret algorithm that I can't show anybody else. And I'm just not that way. I've learned everything on the internet. And don't worry if you're not a coder right now. I'm going to show you that like I wasn't a coder either. And being a coder doesn't mean that you can be a algorithmic trader, and not being a coder doesn't mean you can't be a coder and become an algorithmic trader. Yes, you do need to know how to code, but I show you how to do that. And I didn't know how to code prior. I was just a trader looking for more alpha, and I just learned how to code algos. And it's actually a lot easier than a lot of people think. You don't need a Harvard degree. You don't need to go to school for computer science. None of that BS. Just sit back, relax, watch the show, and just code everything I code. And it's really not that hard. So I want to explain the strategy before we get into it, but essentially we're going to be building a correlation bot, and this correlation bot is going to look at BTC, Bitcoin, and then it's going to trade Ethereum. So there's a pretty tight correlation between the moves in Bitcoin and the moves in Ethereum. I think we all know that, and if you don't, essentially what I mean is if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum usually goes up. If Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum usually goes down. So what we're going to look for are powerful moves to the upside and see if Ethereum is lagging. If Ethereum is lagging by even like a second, our bot can catch that. So if Bitcoin makes this powerful move to the upside and Ethereum's made, like for example, if Bitcoin made like a 10% move or a 2% move, and Ethereum's only made a 0.5% move, our bot would enter a trade and on Ethereum because Bitcoin just made that move, betting that Ethereum is going to go up as well. So, I've already seen that the correlation is very clear. I think we can all eyeball that and see that. But this bot is going to be super interesting. And I actually do this day to day. So I build new bots every single day. And my thought was, hey, why not just share this on YouTube? Because we can build a big old crew of us that are all algo traders and then all jump into Discord. So, we all have different strategies and ways of looking at the market. This dude in our Discord, he's a discretionary trader transitioning into quantitative strategies. We've got a bunch of algo traders in there, data scientists, and it's just so fascinating because everybody has different strategies. Everybody has different ways of looking at the market. So we all learn from each other and then we can build more. But now that I've explained kind of like my thesis here and why I teach this stuff for free, you might be thinking like, why would you share all your code if you're an algo trader? That's why, because at the end of the day, if I can help you, you're going to figure something out that I just can't figure out because my brain doesn't work that way, right? And I can figure out things that you can't figure out because you don't have the same experiences in life than I do. So my thesis is, hey, the more people I help, we all win. So do feel free to join the Discord by clicking the link below. You just go there and let's go ahead and start coding. I have this blog here that has a bunch of starter code so we don't have to recode everything. Essentially what I want to do is I want to import these things, so I'm just going to copy paste it. I'll make sure there's a link for that below. I'm going to change this here to don't share config. Whenever you're algo trading, you want to be super careful with your keys. You don't want to share them, especially on YouTube. We use pandas to organize our data, ccxt in order to connect to the exchange, numpy in order to do some math and stuff. And yeah, those, time, of course, schedule, date time. I filter out the warnings, kind of dangerous, but oh well. To connect to the exchange, Femex in particular, or any other exchange, just pull in this data. I actually have it set up here. So I'm just gonna grab it here from this other file. And then after I do that, I wanna connect to the exchange. Well, I am connected, but I wanna test it. So I'm gonna say print Femex dot fetch balance. And if this works, that means I am successfully connected to the exchange. So let's go ahead and print. And there you go. Boom, boom, boom. I am connected to the exchange, and let's just keep it moving. Let's keep bringing in this starter code, because it's just like not having to code twice is one of my favorite parts of coding, is because you don't ever have to code twice. Just pull in these parameters, essentially just symbols and position sizing. I put them at the top so I can change them really easily. And then this is limit orders only. And the reason you want to use limit orders, I mean, you can use whatever you want. The reason I use limit orders is because you save a lot of money on the fees. You're only buying on the bid and the ask. But when the market moves a lot, sometimes the order book gets pretty thin. And you actually, if you're using market orders, you might buy all the way down here, which is like $5 difference. And that will kill any strategy. So I brought those in. And then this is the big function that took me a long time to build. So I'm happy to be able to give it to you for free here on YouTube. If you do appreciate this generosity, please do tap that like button. That's the only thing I do ask. I give you code, you give me like. That's all. So I want to go ahead and walk through this. Number one, so you can see all the code. If you want to type it out, or you could just go grab it from the website. I'll post it below. But essentially this gets all our open positions. And the reason we need this is because every time we run the bot, like for example, this bot here, every single time it runs, it's checking open positions, because it wants to, like, for example, if a signal goes off, if for example, like our correlation bot, BTC goes crazy here, it goes up or down, well, we want to then trade Ethereum. But first we have to see if we have an open position. If we have an open position, you don't want to double trade that, right? So this is like the main function in every strategy, and that's why I just give it to you for free. So just tap that like button. Let's go ahead and walk through it so you can understand it a bit. We grab the balance, and then we get into the dictionary, we create data frames, and then we set the data frame symbols, and then we set it to a list, and then back to a data frame here, and we set the index position. So the index position is very tricky. The index position is always changing depending on how many symbols you have on an exchange, and they're always changing. So this function here makes it super easy to handle. And like I said, it took me forever to build this. So I hope that you do tap that like button at least, or say hello below. I really like connecting with you guys. Make sure to jump into the Discord if you do want to chat more. But then it also gets the side, whether if it's long or if it's short, it gets the size, and then also the index position again, and then it puts it all into a nice data frame. And I'll show you how this works here. Let's just go ahead and copy this over, and let's just run it. Just copy this, and down here I'll paste it, and let's call this DF, because we're going to get a DF in the 1 position, because we return two things, 0, 1. And then I want to print the DF. And if this works, then that means we're on our way. Okay, there's our data frame. It says I have 0 positions. I have these 4 symbols activated, but 0 size on all of them. This is the index position, which is super helpful. The open bool, true or false. Is it open or closed? False, false, false. And long, well, none. Perfect. So now we can keep on moving, and let's just go into the building of the strategy part. And I put that code here as well. So let's go ahead and just grab it. And essentially this is where we put our strategy. So I'm just going to put this, what I just made, here in the strategy. And this down here will run it every 30 seconds. You can see this bot that's been running, doing really well, 13% in the last 2 weeks. That's about 26% per month. It runs every 30 seconds. So you can see schedule every 30 seconds, do bot. So it's going to do this every 30 seconds. I want to see if it works, and I'm just going to change it to 3 seconds. And if that works, then we're just like off to the races. You've already seen so much code today that's taken hours and hours, and that's the whole reason I'm here, is to help you learn this stuff faster. because if you can learn faster, you can get your strategies automated faster, and then we all win together. If you want to join the Discord, you just simply go, you can see this is running every 3 seconds. Simply just go to the link below, algotradecamp.com. If you do want to join the bootcamp, you get so much code, so many indicators, 14 new bots. But to get to the Discord, you just click join the bootcamp, and the Discord is totally free to get in there. So I hope that you do decide to code all this out, make your own changes, play around with it, and then join me in the Discord. We got a ton of different algo traders and traders in general, some quants, and it's just like crazy how much alpha is being pulled out of that Discord. So I really appreciate your time today. I'm gonna just wrap it up here. If you do want me to make a part 2 where I dive deeper into the correlation strategy, I had to get the basics here because this will take forever to try to code by hand, and I just want to save you as much time as possible. So if you do appreciate me sharing all this here for free on YouTube, do tap that like button. And then if you want part 2 where I go deeper into this correlation bot, go ahead and just let me know below. Say you want part 2, or you can just grab it here in the bootcamp. As you can see, correlation bot, all the code is there. I walk you through all the code, so you understand how everything works. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm just gonna catch you in the Discord. Go ahead and like, subscribe, so you see more videos, and see you there.